Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Chris and welcome to ImmodderNation. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of the steamlink. The steamlink is a streaming set-top box that connects your computer to your television via home network internet connection and a Steam account. It allows users to step away from the desktop, treating gamers to an almost game console-like experience in 1080p. The steamlink allows you the ability to bring that gaming experience to any television in your home. And I know I've been late to the game with this product review. Really late. Like seriously, this product's been out for over a year. My hope is that after watching this video, you can decide whether a steamlink is right for you. Let's get started. Alright, taking a look at the retail packaging, we're greeted with a navy blue box with a baby blue sleeve, and it says Steamlink on the top, so you don't confuse it with the Steam controller. The contents are listed on the side, nothing else on the other sides of the box. We're going to slide the sleeve off, we're going to pop the top off, and here it is, the Steamlink. It's about the size of a wallet and 3 times as heavy. Taking a look at the I/O on the side, we've got HDMI, Ethernet, 2 USB ports, and a power plug, in addition to another USB over here. Delving further into the box, we have the Steamlink Quick Start Guide, which is effectively useless. Just plug everything in and follow the prompts on screen. And there's the product guide if you want to read it. Lastly, we're going to delve into our accessories box, which should contain all of the cables and adapters that we need. Focus! Alright, when we open the box, we're greeted with our international charging adapters. I live in the United States of America, so I won't be using any of these. I think this one is Europe, maybe? Don't quote me on that. And we open up this box, and we have our cables, including our power cable, Ethernet cable, and HDMI. Plug in the cables like so, in addition to a game controller, and you're ready to go. See? I told you this was easy. When you power on the Steamlink for the first time, it's going to look for a computer on the network. And when it does find one, it will ask you to enter a PIN into your Steam account. Once you've done that, you're ready to start. If you've used Steam before in big picture mode, you should be already familiar with the menus. Alright, so the first game we're going to try out is Cody. I'm just kidding, we're not going to try out Cody. Cody's not even a game. So the first game I checked out was Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I was looking for any sorts of delay and input lag. The game looks just as beautiful as it does on my desktop. It really makes me wonder why I didn't pick up the Steamlink any sooner. Even during action sequences, there were no stutters or visible loss of frames. I was so focused on looking for bugs and artifacts that I forgot I was actually playing a game. Are you f***ing kidding me? Even if my gameplay was disappointing, the Steamlink was not. It delivered a great experience on my big screen television. I decided to kick things up a notch by playing Doom. I thought maybe a graphically intensive game would slow things down, but even with a substandard network, the game performed flawlessly. I am disappointed that there isn't a 4K option at this time, but that's no fault of the device, and I feel like that's really a minor point. While I didn't notice any lag or latency issues, I would not recommend the Steamlink for anybody who games competitively, especially first-person shooters like CSGO or fighting games like Street Fighter. However, for the home user, this is a great device to get you away from your desktop computer. All in all, I think the Steamlink is a great value, and you should really check it out if you haven't done so already. Now, let's... I wonder if we put a window and lights inside of a Steamlink. What would that look like? Let's find out. In order to take the Steamlink apart, we need to turn it over, and underneath this part there are 4 hex screws. When you peel back this rubber part, you can actually see the screw underneath. To get at these, we're going to be using a T6 Torx screwdriver. You can pick these up really cheap, so get yourself one. Torx and Security Torx screws are used in a lot of consumer electronics. If you work on a lot of electronics like I do, it might be in your interest to pick up a set. The Steamlink is held together by clips, so you need some sort of pry tool, one that preferably has a thin edge. Just carefully go around the sides and start prying it apart. The clips on the Steamlink are really tough, so don't be afraid to apply some force. And once you get the Steamlink apart, you'll notice this big hunkin' piece of metal in the middle. This is actually the heatsink for the chip. When we remove this piece of metal, you can actually see that there's a thermal pad underneath. I grabbed a flathead screwdriver from my precision screwdriver kit and began prying off the metal cover. I found the easiest way to do this was to start at the corners and work my way across the sides. After removing the cover, you can actually see where our processor is right here. We'll have to replace the heatsink with one of our own, so I bought these copper low-profile heatsinks that have an adhesive backing on them, and I just stuck it right on. Next, I used my multimeter to test the voltage on the board itself. I feel like the best place to tap voltage would be from the input where the power plug plugs in. So I'm going to be connecting my wires to this, but I need to make sure that the voltage coming in is the same as the voltage listed on the adapter. Yep, it looks like our assumption is correct. It is 5.1 volts. I need some LEDs for my project, and I have lots of LED strip lighting, so I'm going to show you how to remove LEDs from the LED strip. For this part of the project, I'll be using a soldering iron, a little bit of solder, and a little bit of rosin soldering flux. I'm just going to take a little bit of soldering flux and wipe it over the contacts. You don't need a whole lot. I'm going to quickly tin the soldering iron, and then I'm going to drag the soldering iron across the contacts while using another tool to carefully pry the LED up. Do not touch the soldering iron to the LEDs. You will melt them within seconds. Free supply of LEDs. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Next, we need to visit ledcalculator.net. I'll post the link in the video description below. We need to figure out what size resistor we need for our LEDs. So let's plug in the information that we already know. The power supply voltage is 5.1 volts. Each LED requires 3 volts, and each LED has a current rating of 20 milliamps. When we click Design Circuit, the calculator tells us we need a resistor of 110 ohms. So I created these LEDs with the resistors and leads wired to them already, and before you say it, I know exactly what you're going to say. They look exactly like teardrops, right? I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. They got the head, they got the tail. It looks exactly like a teardrop. So RGB LEDs have 3 different LEDs inside, and with 3 LEDs you have 3 sets of contacts, and through trial and error I was able to find out which set of contacts corresponded to blue LEDs, and that's what I decided to do. That giant goober on the back is actually hot glue, and that's what's holding this whole mess together. As part of a proof of concept, I decided to solder one of the LEDs to the contacts just to make sure that it worked. I tested it and it worked fantastic. Unfortunately, I forgot to record it. Damn it! Also, the adhesive on the back of the heatsink was starting to come off, so I replaced it with a thermal pad. Here's a close-up of the soldering job. Man, that's ugly. I really need to take a soldering class. I think these metal supports look ugly, so I'm going to cut them off. This step wasn't necessary, but then again, nothing about this is necessary, so valid point. You'll also notice that I took the cover off of the Ethernet port. You'll see why I did that a little bit later. Now that the chips are not behind bars, you can see them a lot better. I'm going to transition over to cutting a hole for our window. I'm using my lens cap as an aid. I'm taking extra care to make sure that the lens cap is centered. I don't want to scratch the surface of my steamlink, so I'm putting tape over the top. Really what I should have done though is put tape down first before I measured everything, but hindsight's always 20/20, right? Next I'm going to cut a hole in my steamlink using my Black & Decker rotary tool and a fiberglass reinforced Dremel cutting wheel. The best way to cut a steamlink would be with a jigsaw, but I don't own a jigsaw, I own a rotary tool, so we're going to use a rotary tool instead. I learned this technique from Bill Owen from MNPC Tech, and you can too by clicking on the link in the upper right hand corner. Of course, links will also be in the video description below. You'll want to tilt your rotary tool at a slight angle so that the outer edge of the wheel moves along the edge of the circle. There's no need to drag the rotary tool either. You only need to touch the plastic in order to make the cut. Sorry, my stupid arm's in the way. Continue going around the circle until the plastic falls through. With some steady hands and a little patience, you too can cut a hole with a rotary tool. But just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Next, I sanded the inside using my rotary tool. This was quite possibly the biggest mistake I made this entire build. You really want to hand file this. I got overzealous with a rotary tool and I made an oval instead of a circle. I won't be reusing the heat shield, so there's no need for legs, or even screws for that matter, so I cut the legs off. The clip should be strong enough to hold the steamlink together. And without that big chunk of metal in the middle, the steamlink lost a substantial amount of weight. You go, steamlink. Well, that's the end of part 1 of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and if you have, give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot. Leave me a comment down in the comment section letting me know, do you own a steamlink? And if you do, what do you enjoy most about it? And if you don't own a steamlink, are you looking to purchase one in the future? Join the nation today by clicking that subscribe button. That way you don't miss a single video when it comes out. And if you have any other questions or concerns, you can reach me. These social medias here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.